Coming up right now on SUTV News, the proposed budget cuts could have a huge effect on Shippensburg's campus.
And a follow-up on President Ruud's Bowling Green application. Plus, the Student Senate makes a deal.
Press release by Follett in conjunction with Student Services and the Senate announcing the partnership and what it means for the university.
Hello and thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Rachel Flores.
And I'm Kyle Rogers. Our top story tonight, the Shippensburg University bookstore will partner with the Follett Corporation. You wouldn't know it looking at today's Senate meeting agenda, but President Stephen Latanishan said that the bookstore merger will not increase textbook prices. Staff will stay on board for a guaranteed 2 years. Latanishan and other officials met with bookstore employees earlier today to make the announcement. Right after the meeting, bookstore manager Mark Werstein announced his resignation. We'll follow this story and bring you more details as we get them. Follow us online at facebook.com/SUTV News. In response to Governor Tom Corbett's proposed education budget cut, the union representing the state university's faculties, ABSCUF, has agreed to negotiate a wage freeze. ABSCUF's president says the one-year freeze is the union's effort to share in economic difficulties before Pennsylvania education. The union is calling for Corbett to restore his funds cut in his proposal.
Along with offering to freeze their salary, the local chapter of ABSCUF held a rally on campus this week. Barbara Shindo reports.
Are going to have...
Well, we know that a cut in the budget of the magnitude that the governor is talking about is going to severely impact on the students.
Students like Jaleisha King.
The budget cuts directly affect me because my family can't afford to send me to college, and I'm out here paying for it by myself with scholarships and different funding from the state.
Jaleisha isn't just worried about herself and other students.
I have family members that are older than me asking me, is it too late to go back to college? And I tell them no. But how it's going to be extremely hard to come back to college if they're cutting the budget. People have families and everything now. Like, why would you do something? Like, why would you cut education? That's the only way that we can possibly better ourselves and get out of the situations that we were born into that we can't help.
ABSCUF is hoping to educate the campus on the issues and help students voice their opinions.
You can write to your legislators. We have postcards today, and we'll be having those throughout the next couple of weeks because it's going to be a process that goes on for several weeks. We can help you find out who your legislator is. If you don't know, let them know what you think about the tuition increases that may be a result of these budget cuts.
Raising awareness is also inspiring students to take actions of their own.
We're going to Harrisburg. We're going to spend the day.
Barbara Shindo, SUTV News.
As you saw in Barbara's report, students from Shippensburg will make the trip to Harrisburg on Monday. A Facebook group called Protest for Education, State Schools in Pennsylvania, has nearly 800 people attending a rally on the steps of the state capitol. ABSCUF is paying for students to take the bus to Harrisburg. SUTV will follow the story as it unfolds. Questions about SHIP's response to potential budget cuts were answered today. President Ruud held a meeting in Grove Forum to announce freezing faculty and staff salaries, and finding ways to save energy will not be enough to satisfy the proposed budget. Dr. Ruud went on to say students would see a 15% increase in tuition or $2,000 annually if the budget passes. He urges students and faculty to continue to voice their opinion on the cuts. Administrative meetings will be held in May to determine other ways to save money. The president did not mention any job cuts.
Meanwhile, President Ruud is no longer in the running to be the next president at an Ohio university. We reported that Dr. William Ruud was one of 3 people considered to be the next leader at Bowling Green University. As of yesterday, he was not one of the final contenders. Stay tuned for all of the information on the new scheduling system.
And did you miss Dancing with the Stars? We have it covered here on SUTV News.
Education was the talk of the Luhr Center last night. CBS 21 in Harrisburg hosted a town hall forum with several Shippensburg educators, panelists, and our own President Ruud. How to pay for college with possible tuition increases with the proposed budget was a big question among students. And future educators were there. Many of them, education majors, are concerned about their future under the massive cuts education faces in this proposed budget. You can catch Face the Nation with Rob Hanrahan on Sunday at 11 on CBS 21.
Believe it or not, scheduling for the fall semester started this week. This year, Shippensburg changed its scheduling system. SUTV's George Garrett has more.
Banner is the new scheduling system for Shippensburg University. This is a more up-to-date system that's also available in various other colleges in Pennsylvania.
Well, we're hoping from the user perspective, it's going to accomplish the same things. You're going to be able to put an application to the university. You're going to be able to see your financial aid. You're going to be able to register for classes.
Some of these new features include searching for a class by a certain time or day.
It's supported. It's being improved all the time. There's somebody available for calling with problems and fixing any kind of issues that we have.
But the students themselves might have mixed opinions about this new scheduling system.
The most obvious difference that I got was I had to contact my advisor for a meeting, and he has to give you a 6-digit PIN number to officially register for the classes, rather than the old system where you just look them up and just click submit.
It was very in-depth with detail, not like SIS where it was just a few things to choose from. There's a lot more dealing with your subject or whatever you want to pick.
I got an email that said to do it 2 weeks before scheduling. Unfortunately, I couldn't get scheduling until 1 week, until scheduling with my advisor. Also, he told me you must do it at the campus rather than the comfort of your own dorm or home, wherever you live, in case anything goes wrong with it, which, you know, scared me because I'm like, oh, great, new system. I'm definitely going to jinx it. So, yeah, don't like it.
Hopefully it won't take long for students to become more familiar with Banner.
The basic difference is the company behind it supporting the software. It's going to be different. It's not going to have the same screens. They're not going to look the same. But the same information and the same tasks will be able to be completed using this software.
This is George Garrett for SUTV News.
Thank you, George. It looks like we'll be choosing classes in a different way from now on. Libya has been in the news a lot lately, but students may not know much about what's going on there or what it could mean for them. To fill us in, here's Luke Martin with more.
Find the front line a short distance away from
Libya is not a new subject in the media, and due to the recent UN involvement, it's sure to be one that will be sticking around. I recently sat down with Dr. Brian Ulrich, an assistant professor of history at Shippensburg, to get some more information about the conflict and its origins, which were not in Egypt as many believe.
Egypt really got going after President Ben Ali fled Tunisia. So then you've got a lot of people saying, wait, this could actually work, who will then join those protests that wouldn't otherwise have before. And then in particular, at the same time there were protests elsewhere, and then after Mubarak fell, it's like, wow, 2? Well, who wants to be 3rd?
Dr. Ulrich also admitted that despite being involved already in the Middle East, U.S. involvement was necessary if a regime change was what we hoped to see.
Had this action not taken place, then the rebels would definitely have lost. And the simple question is this an outcome which the United States and its allied powers were willing to accept, or did they believe it was worth the time and effort and money to go in and try to prevent that outcome from taking place? The consequences of what's happening in Libya, beyond just the intervention, are what we need to be concerned about. What happens after Gaddafi? Who takes over? No one really knows that. And then does the United States, Britain, and France, or whoever get involved in their own nation-building project, where they're essentially trying to help create a government in Libya? That's when things get really dicey politically.
Though he sees some clear problems in the future, Dr. Ulrich says that the risk to Shippensburg students is minimal.
The Obama administration itself has said that there are no clear U.S. interests in Libya. Unless you're in the Air Force, it would take some serious mission creep for the Shippensburg students with military ties to feel this effect on deployment orders or whatever.
Even though Shippensburg may be safe from the effects of the fighting, fears of a humanitarian crisis are growing as the fighting in Libya rages on. Luke Martin, SUTV News.
Thanks, Luke. Here's Aaliyah Smith to lighten the mood. Aaliyah?
If you missed Monday's season premiere of Dancing with the Stars, here's a quick update on the newest contestants. Wendy Williams made her dancing debut but only scored a 14 out of 30 at the end of the night. Also leaving the stage with low scores were celebrities Sugar Ray Leonard, Kendra Wilkinson Baskett, and Kirstie Alley. Hopefully next week's dances will rank in higher scores. I can't wait to see who gets eliminated. There's another type of dance hitting the campus this weekend. Swag Fest is a stroll competition hosted by Psi Sigma Phi Multicultural Fraternity Incorporated. Not only is it a competition, but proceeds will go to a charity of the fraternity's choice.
One of the main reasons that Psi Sigma Phi Multicultural Fraternity Incorporated was brought onto this campus was to help diversify and bring the community together. So therefore, we want to help unify the campus, whether you're Black, Hispanic, or white. We would like all y'all to come over and enjoy the event.
I hope to see everyone this Saturday at 8 p.m. in the Tuscarora Room. That's all the entertainment for this week. I'm Aaliyah Smith.
Come on, give me a little bit of that Macarena.
Oh my gosh, I'm still embarrassed. I can't believe I'm sitting next to you. But thanks, Aaliyah, for that entertainment report.
Anyway, don't go away. Still to come on SUTV News, your weekend weather report. But before we go, let's take a look at next week's slate with the ever so sophisticated Carissa.
Hi, I'm Carissa Lalonde, and I'm the editor-in-chief of The Slate. And this week we have an article on former SU baseball alum Steve Sladoff, who is now playing professional indoor football in Johnstown, PA. We have opinion articles on the construction annoyance, the cause of gas prices increasing, and kids acting their age. And we also have a feature article on the Up Till Dawn event and our weekly True Life.